The other days I have received a very interesting email on an address that I don't usually use. The sender was blackmailing me with a porn video of mine in exchange for some Bitcoin. I found that email hilarious, but I realized that there are people that might actually fall into this trap. This is what this video is about. Hi there, my name is Christina and this is Cryptoland, a channel dedicated to spreading the word about cryptocurrencies. In the world of digital assets there are a lot of scams. From digital assets that result in a scam, to exchanges that are hacked, to different ways of asking Bitcoin in exchange for a service. This email hack is in this last category. Before we actually read the email and analyze why it is a scam, let me tell you that this email came on an email address that probably doesn't have a few security filters. I mean, I currently use 3 mail addresses, all 3 from Google, from Gmail, and I didn't receive such a bullshit on none of them. This email address that I'm talking about is related to another website that I run, and this is Booking Thoughts, and I have created a special email address related to that website. And I probably didn't activate some security filters, or this email address is discovered by bots. So you have a large email service provider, you probably don't receive this type of trash. I understand that the fear of embarrassment is big and people used to panic in front of such a threatening. But please, before sending any kind of money, digital or fiat, Google your problem. I will actually take the email and will comment each of the sections from it. This email starts with a sentence that is in caps. This is not a joke, I'm dead serious. Well, actually when you see that from the very first beginning, you might know that this is a scam. When the sender wants so desperately to draw your attention, it means either it's something very serious or it is a complete bullshit. When things come this way and they are serious, they probably come from someone that you already know. I was very curious to read forward because it came on that email address that I don't currently use, and if someone actually contacts me on that address, I'm very excited to see what happens. But my excitement was... So he was so nice to say hello with "Hi perv." Ooh. The last time you visited a pornographic website with teens, you downloaded and installed software I developed. My program turns on your camera and recorded the process of your masturbation. As a matter of fact, I haven't visited porn sites lately. My software has also downloaded all your email, contact lists, and a list of your friends on Facebook. I have both a contact.mp4 with your masturbation as well as a file with all your contacts on my hard drive. Well, first of all, Facebook is a little overrated, you can try Instagram next time. So this hacker has access to my computer entirely because he can activate my camera and he can record me and he can actually store that record. Okay, great, and he has access to all my contacts from Facebook and probably the contacts from my phone. So he actually hacked my laptop. Well, most of the people store many information on a laptop, so you probably have access to some sensitive data, like passwords on all the sites I'm logged in. So you already have access to things that are far more important than my sex life. You are very perverted. Oh, yes. If you want me to delete both the files and keep the secret, you must send me Bitcoin payment. I give you 72 hours for payment. Seriously, I mean, what guarantee do I have that if I send you the payment Bitcoin, you are going to keep my secret and delete that file? None. If you do know how to send Bitcoins, visit Google. Seriously. Send 2000 USD in this Bitcoin address immediately. And he explains that one Bitcoin is 3 point whatever USD right now, so send exactly 0.56 whatever to the address provided above. First of all, I have 72 hours to send some Bitcoin to that address. If I don't know what Bitcoin is, do you really think I will be able to buy Bitcoin in 72 hours and send it to you? Now there are many exchanges that have bots in order to make some verification, so you can pay with fiat in order to buy Bitcoin. Still, a payment of $2,000 has to be approved by my bank, doesn't it? I can't really pay with my credit card $2,000 and things to move exactly slowly. As a matter of fact, I have received this email on a Thursday, so 72 hours are not enough in order to make that Bitcoin payment because my bank would not approve in such a short amount of time this transfer. Besides that, you have to have $2,000, like now, and I don't believe most of the people have this money just like that. But the hacker tries and you have not to fall for it. On the other hand, I know that when you have an issue, a real problem, you are able to solve everything, anything that comes in the way. Everyone probably has some friend into the Bitcoin stuff, so they will call that friend and ask for the payment. But please don't do it. Let's continue with this email. Don't try to cheat me. It's cheat on me, but that's okay. As soon as you open this email, I will know you opened it. Well, theoretically and technically this is possible, but I don't care. The Bitcoin address is linked to you only, so I will know if you sent the correct amount. If you pay in full, I will remove the files and deactivate my program. Okay, let's talk a little bit about what a Bitcoin address is. A Bitcoin address is just a random string of characters, just like the one that he provided in his email. And it has no connection to a real person. I mean, in that Bitcoin address there is nowhere your name, your email address, any other personal data. On the other hand, Bitcoin transactions are pseudo-anonymous because each transaction is in a public ledger. This means that actually you can see and follow every single transaction from the Bitcoin network. In other words, if I decide to make the payment, I will have my Bitcoin's address and I will have the sender's Bitcoin address. Every transaction from my address to his address is publicly available. And you go back, you will see that in his Bitcoin address there were delivered, I don't know, let's say 1 Bitcoin, and you can see from what address, from what other Bitcoin address this amount was sent, and you will find mine. But my address is equally a string of characters. But you can also go back and see where this amount came from. And you will see another Bitcoin address, and that can be related to an exchange. An exchange that usually requires some KYC verification. This is Know Your Customer. For example, if you want to make an account on Coinbase, then you have to provide your real name, your physical address, your email address, your ID, and probably a few more personal data. So there can actually be a link between Bitcoin payments and real persons. If I send Bitcoin to that address, then all transactions that he's going to do with Bitcoin will be publicly available, and he may or may not actually get those money without finding out who he really is. I don't know for sure this procedure because I haven't studied how to make a completely anonymous withdrawal of fiat money in exchange for Bitcoin, but I can tell you a few things from another story. The most recently hacked exchange was Cryptopia at the beginning of this year, 2019, and the thieves have stolen Ethereum and Ethereum-based tokens. And they were able to send that Ethereum through decentralized exchanges that support Ethereum and Ethereum-based tokens only, like EtherDelta. Those decentralized platforms don't require a KYC verification, and they were able to remain anonymous, at least until now. About Bitcoin, I don't know, but I believe there are methods to actually sell anonymous that Bitcoin exchange for fiat. On the other hand, the sender says that he will know if I make the payment because that Bitcoin address is linked to me only. This is possible if he has a lookup table. I mean, I know this email was not sent to me only, so he can have some lookup table with the email address and the Bitcoin address he has provided. And he can check if I have made the payment to that Bitcoin address, and then he will say, oh, okay, from this email, contact@bookingthoughts.com, I have received the Bitcoin payment. But seriously, he has no recording with me doing anything, so this is bullshit. What I wanted to tell you was about the Bitcoin address, so there is no way to link a Bitcoin address to a real person from the Bitcoin address only. A Bitcoin address is just like your bank account number, except for the fact that there is no linkage with your name and who you really are. Let's move on. When you pay in full, so I come back with my question, why should I trust you? If you're blackmailing me once, you will do it again and again, seriously. You give me no guarantee that you will delete that video of mine. He says when you'll pay in full, okay, I will remove the files and deactivate my program so I can suppose that I'm still spied on my computer. If you don't send the payment, I will send your masturbation video to all your friends and associates, in caps, from your contact list I hacked. Here are the payment details again. This is a sort of aggressive marketing, isn't it? Just a few rows above I could actually see those details, I don't need them again. You can visit police but nobody will help you. Probably. I know what I'm doing. Yes, sure. I don't live in your country and I know how to say anonymous. Yeah, he might know how to say anonymous. But if you think about history, actually a lot of criminal Bitcoin payments have been discovered. There are a lot of stories on the internet about this. So probably he can't say anonymous. I don't really know. Don't try to deceive me, I will know it immediately. Yeah, he's a mind reader and he will actually know if I will deceive him. My spyware is recording all the websites you visit and all keys you press. This with the keys you press can actually be true. If someone installs a keylogger on your computer, then he will know what keys you press. So if this hacker knows what keys I press, then he probably has access to a lot of sensitive data. When you make online payments, and I believe all of us do, you actually have or introduce your sensitive data from your bank account or your card. If he has a keylogger on my laptop, he probably has access to my bank account. If you do, I will send this ugly recording to everyone I know, including your family. Ooh. Maybe this is not a bad idea. If I think about Kim Kardashian, I can become famous. Don't cheat me. Seriously, don't cheat on me. Don't forget the shame. Ooh. And if you ignore this message, your life will be ruined. Oh, yes, life is ruined because of a porn movie. I'm waiting for your Bitcoin payment. It's been 26 days since he's waiting for this payment. If you need more time to buy and send Bitcoin, open your notepad and write 48 hours, please. I will consider giving you another 48 hours before I release the vid. Anonymous hacker. This is a great email I have received. 2 days later I have received another email from the hacker Milagros or something like that. Was very similar to this one. The idea was the same, to send 0.56 whatever Bitcoin to a certain Bitcoin address. I have inspected both the Bitcoin addresses. They seem to be linked to me, or no one has ever made payments to those addresses. Despite the fact that I have made fun of this email, I have to admit that I found it as a pretty good scam. I mean, it speculates on embarrassment fear, which is perfectly normal, and probably all of us have it. And when we have huge feelings and big emotional issues, we don't actually think rational about the things around us. On the other hand, hacking a laptop is not impossible, especially from porn sites, because they explore the wish and the desire of the customer. The same is with other types of sites like games or bet sites or whatever in this category, and I understand because it explores our desires, our emotions, and you probably will hit buttons that you wouldn't normally do. So what I encourage you to do is either pay a lot of attention when you are on this type of sites, either use them in a virtual machine. That's totally fine. If a sort of malware goes into your virtual machine, it won't actually damage your computer, your laptop, or at least not that much. As already mentioned, I like this trick. I find it quite good, but I can't approve the thief, no matter in what area. On the other hand, I like Bitcoin and I like cryptocurrencies, and I don't want people to be tricked and have a negative opinion about them just because they didn't have information regarding this area. Another thing that you can do in front of such an issue is to actually search on Google. I know that in the first moment when you read something like this, you might panic and not be so open to Google it. But leave your fear, that's perfectly normal. Then go and search for information because the internet is a gateway. Use it wisely. And suppose that it might be a scam. Because if you search on Google Bitcoin scams or email Bitcoin scams, you will find this sort of emails and you can calm down and you will certainly don't send Bitcoin to those addresses anymore. I really hope you found useful the information here. Please share it with your friends so many people find out about this type of scams. And if you had enjoyed this video, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I'm Christina, thank you for watching. Now seriously, anyone can make a porn video with my face on it because Photoshop is the best. So I might be the next Kim Kardashian.